Today I'm gonna tell you about my guitar collection. And the first one to go is the bass guitar I have. And this guitar has a little story I'm gonna tell you. This was bought from an Englishman here in Israel, and he came here with this bass, and at some point he was selling it, and I thought that, damn, that's such a nice guitar. I mean, take a look how it looks like, you know, it looks gorgeous, right? And it's a Squier Jaguar bass, vintage modified, and I'm so satisfied with the guitar. That man, that guy, he actually gave me the set of roto sound strings along with this bass, which was another evidence it was bought somewhere in England. This guitar has a 30-inch scale, so this is a short scale bass, and this is why I like it even more, because it's very comfortable to play for me, for a guitarist. I like it so much. Almost all songs you hear were recorded on this one. So take a look and take a listen. Again, Squier Jaguar bass, vintage modified, which is probably very important to say. My bass guitar. Another guitar piece in my collection is my Ibanez SA260. I bought it 3 years ago, and I just always wanted to have an Ibanez. I didn't want to buy an RG series, and when I saw this one being sold, I thought, cool, that's a cool looking guitar, you know? That's kind of a more common shape than an RG series to me. So I bought this one, and I was very much impressed by its performance and its body style. It's like Strat, but being even a little bit better somehow than Strat, because the body is slimmer, it has a humbucker, it has a push-pull, which allows me to have these two pickups together as a humbucker on single, and then as two singles like on a regular Strat. It has a tremolo, a 2-point tremolo, which is much better than a Strat. It has this kind of jack input slot in here, which is kind of nice. And well, it's actually made of mahogany, and it has a maple top, and it's so nice to play. I know that mostly Ibanezes are used for something heavier than this, but I also seen lots and lots of musicians playing Ibanezes as a very versatile guitar. And you know, when you've got a chance to take only one guitar for a meeting where you don't have to really impress anybody, but just an expensive guitar that can do anything you like without really spending a buck. So again, Ibanez SA260 in my collection. The next one is the Epiphone SG Custom. I have to say that this is really a custom one, because I replaced the pickups as soon as I got it. Not because the stock pickups were bad, but because I had this set of P90s in humbucker casing, and I just wanted to have an SG with P90s. This is what I wanted, but I wanted also to have this gorgeous, just fabulous look. Look. Wow. Cool, right? The fabulous look of the Epiphone SG Custom. I like this guitar so much. I'm a very Telecaster guy, so when I had this one with its super slim body, this is really a rock machine. I bought it a few years ago on Thumb website. I'm so impressed, and I really like this guitar. It looks beautiful on a video. It feels very nice in terms of playability, and yeah, this is my Black Beauty Epiphone SG Custom with something Armstrong P90s. Yeah. Well, let's move on to the next one. The next one would be Yamaha AES 620. The series, which was produced in Korea somewhere almost 20 years ago, and then it was discontinued, but many people who played this guitar have this opinion that this is really a very good Gibson Les Paul competitor, considering the fact that it was crafted in Korea and it is really well made after so many years, you know. I'm feeling these frets. Everything is perfect. I like it. I don't want to tell a long story behind this guitar, but if you want to hear how I got it, I would tell you. But eventually it was kind of a few steps trade spread over the few years, which led me from Gibson Les Paul Studio to this one. And this is kind of experience I have. It has a Seymour Duncan, it is a stock pickup in this guitar. This is a very good Les Paul, and I've had a few Les Pauls by Gibson, by Epiphone, and all of those had this issue of having very rectangular body over here. This guitar doesn't have this problem. Take a look. You see? It's shaped, it's contoured. So, yeah. I use this guitar in studio a lot when I need this fat kind of low-end guitar sound somewhere on the background, just to give a feeling of the electric guitar, but not given this kind of mids. When you're playing something like Strat, something like Telly, it cuts through your mix, and when you just don't want it, when you want the opposite of that, this is the guitar I just adore to use for that, really. It sounds so really nice that I believe this would be my must-have kind of Les Paul instrument until the end of my life, because this is a very well-crafted instrument. I don't want to lose it, and they are pretty rare. You won't actually find lots of these, but if you will, if you do, I mean, buy it. Really, this is a good guitar. Again, Yamaha AES 620 with Grover tuners, with mahogany body, with this rosewood neck, I believe. It is really a beautiful, beautiful guitar with a contoured body. Oh my god, how I like it. Let's move on to the next one. The next one would be this Harley Benton JA60, which was initially grey, a metallic grey, and it was beautiful. But I wanted to have a white Jazzmaster, so I made this guitar as a project. So I repainted body a few times, and there is a video on this channel saying how I ruined my body. This is what people on the comments say. Well, I replaced the bridge. It was a Tune-o-matic bridge initially, but I've replaced it with this one. I've also replaced the neck, and now it says Fender Jazzmaster. It says somewhere there, somewhere here. But, well, don't look at that, because that's not true. That's not Fender. That's a Harley Benton. However, this is the guitar I mostly use recently because, well, it impressed me so much. I've never tried this kind of pickups. I mean, those are not P90s like I've shown you on my SG. Those are not. The sound is pretty different. And being a Telecaster lover, as I said, I was just so impressed by this kind of overwhelmed Telecaster sound in this guitar. Probably this is what Just Master is supposed to sound like, but again, this was my first one in my life, the offset guitar. I tried, and well, the sound is just impressive. So now the body is impressive for me too. You know, this was kind of a tribute to the times when I was young and such a rock star, and I've had everything of my gear just painted white with this black stripes over there. The amp, the pedals, and it has a roasted neck. It has a locking tuner, so this part of the guitar was totally upgraded. And the electronics and the body stayed of Harley Benton, and I'm not gonna change it anytime soon. I use this guitar a lot in my studio. It is very, very lightweight guitar, the lightest probably of my collection. And well, I've been on a video clip with this guitar, and it was so cool to have it for a long time on my shoulder and not feeling discomfort. So, check it out if you have a chance. The Harley Benton JA60. They make things, I mean Harley Benton. I am going to have another Harley Benton guitar soon, so I'm gonna tell you about it later. The next one is Fender Telecaster, Mexican made. Reliced by me. This is one of my most impressive relicing projects because, you know, I've had this guitar used but completely intact, so I've heavy reliced it, as you can see, and it looks nice. I really liked it, but at some point I've traded it for another guitar, and after many years, not many but probably 5 years, I found it on the marketplace, and I immediately recognized it because, you know, this was my design, made by these hands. Even though I didn't need another Telecaster, but this was just a part of the history I had in my life. And I've also replaced this logo. It is an original Fender and it has a serial number, just to not fool anyone. But I just wanted to have this kind of custom shop replica. So after many years I found it on marketplace and I contacted the seller. I offered him about $150 less than he expected for this guitar, but he agreed, and well, instantly drove to another city and bought my guitar. I told him that this is my guitar. He wasn't the guy I traded with, so probably it had a few owners since then, but now it's in my possession and I'm not gonna lose you, never again. There's an interesting fact, take a look. It was kind of painted black before it was painted white because I didn't paint it. I kind of removed the paint, but I didn't apply any other layer. So this is my Fender Mexican standard Telecaster with 52 custom shop pickups, or 62 custom shop pickups I've installed myself. So probably those guys didn't even knew they had such a good guitar, I mean such an expensive set of pickups in this guitar. But now I have it. Again, I love my guitar so much. My guitars so much, I mean. Come on, let's move. And this is my Stratocaster. I inherited this one from my passed away dad. So this guitar has some sad meaning to me. However, I am using this instrument a lot, and for example, Magnetized was recorded on this guitar, and Call Me Back was recorded on this guitar. So check those songs out. When I got this guitar, I knew it, I was familiar to it, because I replaced the stock pickups with the Mexican-made Fenders. And these are Fender Mexican-made pickups from my Strat I used to have. I repainted it. And again, I kind of reliced the pick guard. Here I burn it, and I also took away one of the volume knobs because I just don't like it on Strats, and replaced it with the kind of a coin with a saint, Christian saint, just because I needed something round in here, and I just found this to be interesting in here. Again, the roasted maple neck, the replaced one, because this was just a cheap Strat, but now it has a new set of pickups, the new roasted maple neck, the lock-in tuners, and the 2-point tremolo, which I don't really use, but it has it. And again, this is a very good sounding guitar. I like it very much. It means to me a lot. I named it Paul Model. It says because, well, that's a Saint Paul, okay, and that's a Paul Model. I didn't do it intentionally, but I just had this decal from the Les Paul, and I removed Les and just kept the Paul Model kind of thing, and then I had this coin or whatever it is to put there with the Saint Paul. I don't know, is that a coincidence or not? I don't know, you decide. Let me know in the comments below. My Strat. Welcome, one more Telecaster here. Originally it was a Suzuki STL-10 SB, which stands for Sunburst, and it was just a cheap, somewhere Hong Kong, China made. It was my second electric guitar, but truly it was the first one I really adore, and I had so much of my past with this guitar, so many gigs, playing in a band, then recording solo, then again playing in a band, and so many things have happened to me and this guitar, and this is the most valuable one. It is the most modified one, because for some period of time it was the Sunburst, then it was white, then it was white, but that was my first experience of relicing the guitar, and I actually have this guitar made as a tattoo on my hand here. So I don't know whether you see, but it is the relic condition of this guitar when it was white with 2 white strips. This is what I was saying when I talked about my Jazzmaster. So I've replaced on this guitar everything except for the body, I suppose, because this electronics was replaced, the pickguard was replaced for many times, the bridge pickups, which are now Seymour Duncan Hot for Telly, and it had a few sets previously. I replaced the neck, and this is the all parts 7¼ inch radius neck with the decal, with locking tuners, and overall this reliced neck and reliced body by me. This is the most valuable guitar I have. Valuable in terms of memory. It doesn't cost a lot because basically it's a parts caster, but each part symbolizes some period of my life. I remember putting it on it, kind of ordering in the internet, and well, it was a long story behind each of these guitars, especially behind this one, my fat Telly, because it has high output pickups and very fat sound in comparison with my regular Telecaster. My fat old friend. Well, last but not least are my acoustic instruments. I have 2 acoustic guitars. This is one of them. This is an Epiphone Dove. I suppose Epiphones are my second most common brand I have, and I had in previous years. But this guitar is very good. It has a Fishman pickup, which is hidden in here, as well as the battery. It's hidden inside. This is a very good looking, very expensive looking, and very nice sounding instrument. I really like. And everywhere you hear acoustic guitar, which is not very common in my songs, but everywhere you hear it, for example in the song Our Common Home, that's this Epiphone. Usually I pick up the sound with built-in pickups and with an external microphone. It has Grover tuners. It has a very electric guitar neck shape, which is again very, very convenient to play. My Epiphone Dove Pro. The last one is my classical guitar. Look how beautiful it is. Oh yes. Usually classical guitars are very dull and they are boring looking, but this one is not. It really looks much more expensive than it is, because it is a very Chinese instrument made by the brand called Smigger, and that's the model CSM 402. It has a built-in tuner and some kind of electronics which doesn't actually work well, but the tuner works fine, so you don't have to carry one, and it sounds pretty nice. It's very warm in terms of sound, because this body is made of some kind of layered mahogany family or something. Well, it's not a solid top and not solid body at all. I mean, the solid wood, but it costs $150. Side by Side is my song where you can hear this guitar. I have it for a few years and I really like it. I like it's so, you know, its playability, it is so convenient, it is so comfortable to play, and I just like this guitar. Again, this is my classical Smigger guitar made of mahogany, having this a bit unusual for classical guitar shape, like it's a stage classical, probably classical guitar for stage, but I like it a lot. And that would be the last one for today. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel and listen to my music on all platforms. See ya!